Scott Robertson has named his All Black squad to take on the Springboks at Eden Park. Some interesting selections, especially in the forwards, dropping in form Fabian Holland to the bench to make space for rookie Simon Parker to come in on the side of the scrum. A risk-reward decision in my eyes, looking at how dominant the All Blacks line-out has been the past couple of games. Will this change impact their line-out? Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you think of this All Black squad to take on the Springboks. What changes would you have liked to see made? What changes do you like? What do you think of it? How do you see this game playing out? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. We're one day closer to the big one, the Eden Park showdown. Razor has named his All Black squad to hopefully, for All Blacks and for New Zealand, defend the Eden Park record that is 30 years, 50 games. We all know it. Everyone has been speaking it up. This is the squad to take on the Springboks to hopefully hold that record up, or this is the squad to lose that record, because I don't see the game being drawn here. It's either going to be a win or a loss. Let's just get straight into it. So the All Black squad is Ethan de Groot, Fletcher Newell, Cody Taylor up front. We've got Scott Barrett and Tupou Vai. Scott Barrett, captain. Then we've got Simon Parker, Ardie Savia, and Wallace Atiti in the back row. Finlay Christie and Bowden Barrett, 9 and 10. We've got centres of Geordie Barrett, Billy Proctor, and then the back three of Rieko Ioane, Imoni Narawai, and Will Jordan. On the bench, Samisoni Tokiao, Tamaiti Williams, Tyrell Lomax, Fabian Holland, Duplessis Karifi, Kyle Preston on debut, Quinn Tupaia, and Damian McKenzie. So we'll chat on, firstly, let me know what you like about the squad. What changes don't you like? Who should be there? Who shouldn't be there? Love to hear what you guys think. What your All Blacks fans are thinking about this one. So up front, like the front row, it kind of picked itself. Like I said, when I did my predicted All Black squad, I named this front row as well. They've picked themselves throughout the Rugby Championship, throughout Super Rugby, throughout the France Test series as well. Good to see Tyrell Lomax coming back in. He's on the bench, get some good minutes, and hopefully impact or help their scrum in the back end of the game. Not necessarily just help it. I'm not expecting Springboks to really push them over at the scrum time, but we know Springboks love a scrum. So you want the impact at the start of the game and at the end of the game. You want to at least be winning your own ball. Someone like Tyrell Lomax, Tamaiti Williams coming on later in the game will definitely help in that regard. Then the locks. This is the big one for me. So Tupou Vai moves from back row into lock. They've dropped Fabian Holland and they've brought Simon Parker into that number 6 role. So I'll talk around the back row in a minute. Just around the locks first. So Fabian Holland for me has been outstanding for the All Blacks. He's really bossed their lineouts, just taking charge of their lineouts, and All Blacks line out has been unreal this year. They've set so many tries, there's so much attacking set piece or attacking flow, just their momentum into the game. Their attack has really been based around their line out, a dominant line out, strong on their own ball, and then disrupting opponents' ball as well. And Fabian Holland has been the forefront of that, calling the line outs. He played all 80 minutes versus France. He's played all 80 minutes versus Argentina. Been really good at line-out time. They scored so many tries off the back of line-outs. Will this change disrupt that? Yes, he's only just dropped to the bench. So if shit hits the fan, yes, he can come on. This is not taking anything away from Scott Barrett and Tupou Vai. Obviously, two world-class players as well. But they've been so used and been so good with their line-outs, how it was. Why change anything? When I look at the back row, you kind of understand why they've made space for someone like Simon Parker. Bigger body, coming up against big bodies as well. So you come up against Springboks, you know what they're going to bring, physicality. You want the bigger bodies there, those guys that can make the big, strong tackles, that can come around the corner with ball in hand and get over that vantage line. Meet fire with fire. So when I look at it at that point of view, I'm like, I don't mind that. While you might lose a little bit at line-out time, you're gaining a lot physicality-wise. I've always been that person that's gone with the when there's a snake hole and you want to send someone down there, you don't send a rat or something down. You send your own snake down there. So they're going to match snakes with snakes, fire with fire. Simon Parker coming up against guys like Peter Steph du Toit, Siya Kolisi, Marco van Staden, whoever it's going to be in the Springboks back row. Love the inclusion of Wallace Satiti coming in at 8. And that frees up Ardie Savea to be at 7. Ardie Savea on his 100th test. How good. One of the best to ever do it in rugby and for the All Blacks. Love that. Saw what Wallace Satiti brought energy-wise in that second test versus Los Pumas. Yes, the All Blacks lost, but just carrying the ball, wanting to run with the ball, running with purpose. And that gives the All Blacks, back row, that gives the All Blacks 3 heavy ball carriers. Simon Parker, Ardie Savea, Wallace Satiti. Big, strong ball carriers. Coming up against the Springboks, that's what you want. You want that fire with fire. You want that punch with punch. You want that dominance with dominance. So love to see that back row battle play out. Obviously, then moving over to the backs, Finlay Christie comes in. Cam Roy got injured. Cortez Ratima injured. Noah Hotham injured. Christie comes in, and then it allows Kyle Preston to make his debut off the bench. Unreal story. If you haven't listened to it, what a lad. Search that. Kyle Preston. Unreal story. So he gets, damn, what a test to make your debut versus the Springboks at Eden Park. How good. Finlay Christie, he's been copped a lot of flack of late. I don't know what for. I think he's been unreal coming off. He's been playing off the bench predominantly. He was initially kicked out of the All Black squad. When you've got guys like Roy God, Hotham, Ratima, they were picked kind of above him. Now injuries have happened. He's been brought back in. And I think he's been good. Crisp pass. He's physical, loves to defend around the rucks, and that's something that they're going to want there. Beauden Barrett's going to have to step up in this game massively, especially he's kicking off the tee, but then just kicking in general. You don't want to just kick the ball away for kicking the ball away. You want to be pinpoint. You want to be accurate. Coming up against the Springboks, you want to play on the correct areas of the field. Into the centres, Geordie Barrett, Billy Proctor, no changes there. I think this is their 12-13 heading into the Rugby World Cup in 2027. You need to back these guys. You need to give them time. And they'll come up against one of the best centre combinations for a long time. Yes, you're looking back in the day, Maya Nonu, Conrad Smith. I'm not comparing Damien de Allende and Jesse Creel to those guys at all. But for the Springboks, Damien de Allende and Jesse Creel have been one of the best centre pairings they've had since John de Villiers, Jacques Fourie era. So really keen on that matchup there. Bit of a little change in the back three. So Rico Ioane keeps his spot. Sevu Reece dropped for Imoni Narawai. Will Jordan goes without saying. This is going to be big. We know what the Springboks are going to kick. They're going to kick well. They're going to kick to contest. The box kicks, the up and unders from 10. And the wingers and Will Jordan are going to have to get up and boss it, own it, because you know what's coming. So they've made a change there. Let's see what can happen or what will happen. On the bench, so I've only touched on the front row on the bench. So Fabian Holland will come on. He covers lock. Obviously, like I've said what I've said around that department. Duplessis Karifi bringing energy later on. Love to see the matchup if Kwagga Smith is on the bench for the Springboks. If they can we just a shout out to Razor and Rassi, can you guys let Duplessis Karifi and Kwagga Smith be subbed on at the same time? Everyone wants that. 2 absolute dogs just going at it. Bring them on at the same time. We want that. The fans want that. We want that. Bring Kwagga Smith and Duplessis Karifi on at the same time. Let them go at it. Ooh, I can't wait for that matchup. And then obviously Kyle Preston, Kuntupai and Damien McKenzie round out the bench. Kuntupai covering centre, then Damien McKenzie can cover 10 and fullback. You've got Rico Ioane that can cover centre. If there's an injury there, they can make shifts around. If a wing gets injured, you shift Will Jordan to wing. You put Damien McKenzie at fullback. Fly-off gets injured. Damien McKenzie comes on. Strong side. Is it strong enough to beat the Springboks or to hold on to that record? I just have to go with it. Springboks, I think, are going to win this one. It's tough. It's tough to say because if All Blacks win, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They were good enough to win. It's going to be a clash and a half. I honestly don't know who's going to win this one. I'm like, my head says Springboks, or my heart says Springboks. My head says the All Blacks. Who do you go with? Who knows? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.